Hi everyone, welcome to JLenser, and on today's tutorial I'll be teaching you or actually showing you how to get started using Embacadero Rad. So yeah, PGG3 is all about Embacadero. Embacadero is a great visual user interface for designing apps, mobile apps, Android apps, and also iOS. So just type Embacadero Community Edition, click the first link. It will redirect you to the Embacadero website where you can get the Community Edition for free. The Community Edition lasts for 1 year, so every year you'll have to renew it, but hopefully you'll only need it for 6 months. Yeah, just fill in your details, then download. After downloading, install, you know the procedure. And this is the user interface of the C++ Builder 10.3 Community Edition. Okay, first things first, we create a new VCL application. So VCL is it's an Embacadero library which has all the classes like buttons you can see on the tool palette. There are lots and lots of classes. So as you can see, we have the object inspector. That's where we'll edit all our properties, our methods, add events. You'll see. Okay, over here at the top, this is our project explorer. Actually, you won't be using this a lot, so just focus on tool palette and object inspector. Okay, for our first program or example, we'll just make a simple calculator. Okay, before you do anything, make sure you save your project. I'll just create the new folder, PGG3. Okay, let's name this calculator unit. Okay, now that we saved our project, we can begin. Okay, start by renaming your form. How do you rename your form? Using the caption property. So from form 1, we can just name our form calculate. Okay, as you can see, the form name has changed. Okay, for our program, we'll need 2 edit boxes, two labels, and 3 buttons. Okay, enough talk. I'll just place the first label for the first number, the second label for the second number, edit box, edit box. Okay, just click on any component you wanna rename or edit the properties. On the object inspector, you'll find the caption. The caption is what you see. I'm sure you all know what the caption is. So some components don't have the caption but have other properties instead. You'll see later. Okay, so for our label, we can change the caption to first number to indicate it's the first number, first input number. Then for a second label, just name it second number. Okay. Every component has the name property, as you can see here. The name property is the name which you'll be using when coding. When you want to access that component, you use that name. So for for first number and second number, we won't be using them in our code. They're just for displaying or for showing the user that this is the first number or you're supposed to enter the second number. Okay, so our edit box will just change the name because we'll need to use that. We'll need to capture the data from the edit box. So it's good practice to name them EDT for edit box. So EDT what? EDT num1. The second one, EDT num2. Okay, as you can see, we have some text inside our edit box. That's by default. You can just remove the text using the text property. I remember when I said some components don't have the caption. The edit box is one of them. As you can see, no caption, but instead we have the text property. So the text is whatever that's inside the edit box. So just by default we have nothing. So we just remove those. Okay, so now we'll need the buttons for our buttons for operators. T button component, can copy, paste, paste. Okay, our button has a caption. We'll change the caption. So the caption is what you see. What do we want you to see? This is the button for addition, button for subtraction, then then button for multiplication. Okay, for now let's just use these three operators, because when we add divide we'll have to work with floats and double. So I just want to make this tutorial as basic as possible. Okay, I think now we have all our components. What do we want our program to do? When a user enters a number, first number, let's say 10, a second number 15, when they press add, we want to display the sum of the two numbers. So we'll need some kind of component to display the value. There are multiple of components we could use. We could use a list box to display all the history or the logs. We could use an edit box to display, but let's just use a label for this. So this label will contain the answer or will display the answer. We can also play around with the fonts, the font size. Let's make it much bigger, double that. The color also, let's make it gray. Okay, yeah, that works. Okay, when you input a number, first number, second number, press, we want to see a display here. Okay, how do we code that? Save your project. At the bottom of your screen you'll see the design. You are in design mode, so switch to the unit, the calculator unit.cpp. That's where you'll be writing your code. But Embacadero is very nice, so you don't have to switch there. It does that for you. How? Immediately when you attach an event listener to a component, you can just double tap it. When you press it, it brings you to the calculate u.cpp, to the unit. As you can see, it created a small function for you. So it's a button click, it's an on click. If you check on the object inspect, on click you have button one click, so that's an event. An event just simply says when you click this, this should happen. What should happen? Whatever is inside. So what do we want to happen? Firstly, we want to grab the user input data, so we can store those in integer, assuming that user only enters integer values. So we'll store this in num1. So our num1 will be our edit num1 pointed to, still calculating, but we need the text. Num1 text property. So this will return to us whatever the user input is, but it will return to us a string. And as you can see here, we need to store this number as an integer. How do we do that? So Embacadero has predefined functions which you could use on the go, like converting a string into an integer or converting an integer into a string. You just have to check the reference. I'll leave a link down below. So now we need to convert a string to an integer. So just say str to int, because it's a function. It takes in one parameter, which is a string. Then we do the same thing for the second number. So num2, we grab whatever text is inside the edit box num2, we convert it to an integer, then we store it in num2. So now we can just do our operations. We need a variable to store the answer, so we can just say ans equals to what? Num1 plus num2. Why? Because the user clicked, or this event is for addition, so we just add the 2. Then what do we want to do next? We want to display the result or the value of the answer on this label. Go back to your object inspector, make sure you change the name property of that so you could use it. Or if you don't want to change, you could use the name you see there. So on my PC it's label 3. I could just say label 3, but let's just change that to LBL answer for label LBL. So over here, LBL answer, we are trying to access what? The caption of that. My PC is a bit slow, but you should see some properties popping. Okay, there it is, caption. So our label answer caption, we want to set it to what? To our ans. But if you recall, ans it's an integer and this caption is a string, so it displays a string. You have to convert this ans back to a string. So how do you do that? The same way you did with string to int, you can do int to string. So just type int to str or string. Okay, let's see. Fingers crossed it works. Let's hope. Okay, just save and run. And by the way, if you're enjoying the tutorial, you can just send your ratings, send the feedback. I'll keep on uploading more content. I really want you guys to pass, so I'm sharing my experience. Okay, now it's done. On the second screen. Okay, it's an Avast cyber capture. Let's wait for it for a bit. Okay, yeah, now there's our calculator. So first number, let's just enter 10. Second number, that'll be 15. If you add the 2, you'll get 25. As you can see, you didn't need to do anything else. You just press that. So you've attached an event saying when you click this, I want you to add the 2. So same logic for minus, multiply, and even division. Okay, let's try adding these 2. As you can see now, nothing happens because there's no event that tells C++ that something should happen. Okay, so back to our design. If you double click your subtract or minus sign, okay, yes, agree. Yeah, it will create this event for, or this function for the minus. So when you click the minus, what should you do? It's basically the same code, so I'll just copy this to save time because even the video is too long. So on the same label, same answer, I just change the sign. So multiply instead of, no, actually subtract, sorry about that. Subtract, then go back to your design, double click, multiply, paste your code, change from plus to multiply, then that's it. Your program should be working flawlessly. Okay, the cyber capture, let's just plus, minus, multiply. Yeah, it works. Once more, first number 18, second number 5. 18 plus 5, 23. 18 minus 5, 13. 18 times 5, 90. Okay guys, that's it. You can modify this code to do anything basically. Like on Embacadero, just know that you have control of all of the user interface. Like you can create anything that you see on a window of a PC. You can work with edit box, panels, progress bars, timers. There are a lot of stuff in here, guys. Keep on studying. I hope you pass.